Where is she? Hello, everybody. I am Chris Kissel, and I'm here today to do mindful movement with you. Mindful movement is a way to move your body gently and efficiently so your muscles know what to do and you don't injure yourself doing all your daily tasks. So let's get started just in a seated position. What you want to have today for class is a yoga block and maybe a little prop for your head. I just like to put this ball behind my head, but you can just grab a pillow. And if you don't have a yoga block, just grab a throw pillow off the couch or something. That will work just fine. But let's just start cross-legged position. And what I want you to do is I want you to feel your sits bones, okay? I don't think you can see the top of my head, so I'm gonna adjust this. I want you to feel your sits bones right underneath your bum here. So just kind of move around, feel those sits bones sitting firmly on the floor. And what we're going to do is we're going to monitor where those sits bones are as we do little circles with our torso. So I want you to kind of just gently move, and I want you to keep those sits bones on the ground. So don't go too far. And I want you just to move your torso in a circle. Now, your torso consists of everything but your legs, your arms, your neck, your head. So it's the whole midsection of our body. Let's reverse that circle. So this isn't a big circle where your hips are flying all over the place. We're just moving our rib cage basically on top of our hips. Okay. Now we can let the hips go a little bit. So let's do bigger circles, and the hips will rock and we'll get a little massage through that area. So go ahead and take a bigger circle now. We're going to be exploring the whole body today from head to toe, and reverse your circle. Reverse your circle. All right. All right. So now what I'd like you to do is just drop your chin down towards your chest and don't round it over too much, but I want you to try to get your neck kind of straight and tall and pull your chin back in towards your throat as you drop it down. And you feel kind of a straightness right up the back of your neck as you do this. So just lift it back up to neutral. So as I do this, I'm kind of pulling my chin back and then I'm tucking my chin down. And I'm elongating that cervical spine. I'm making the neck long and I'm opening up the spaces between the vertebrae and come back up. I'll show you this from the side. You can see all my chins this way. All right, let's pull our heads back. We'll sit up nice and tall. Pull your chin back towards your throat and then drop down so you're gazing down towards the floor. And feel that nice stretch all the way up the back there. Nice stretch. Now let's just reverse that. And I want you just to think about where your chin's going, okay? So just keep your neck kind of tall. And I want you to lift your chin as high as you're comfortable, but we're still keeping our spine nice and tall. And just slowly lift it, slowly lift it. And then bring it back to neutral. So we're not just throwing our head back, we're really consciously moving where this chin's going. I want you to focus on the chin. So go ahead and get your spine nice and tall and straight and lift that chin like you're looking up at a starry sky or a beautiful blue sky. And then bring it down. All right, now we did up and down, we did back and forth. So we're going to do a little tilt, but I want you to think of this tilt being just from the top of your head, just right under your ears. So get your spine really tall again and just tilt your chin to the opposite side. It's not a big lean, it's not a big arch, and then come bring that chin back to center. So our chin is guiding us wherever we go. Go ahead and tilt that chin towards the other side. Nice, nice. And bring the chin back to center. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look over to the left. So guide that chin to the left, but remember our spine is nice and tall. This is a slow move. We don't want to crank on our neck. Bring it back to center. We just want to let it know all the different moves it can make. And we are so happy with that. And bring it back to center. All right, we got the neck done. We're going to work into the shoulders a little bit. So I just want you to think of your shoulder blades at this point, the ones on your back body. They're going to be going up and down. I want you to think of moving the shoulder blades up and down. Kind of let this shoulder joint go along for a ride. So put your mind, this is mindful movement, in your shoulder blades. So I want you to lift your shoulders up, but put your mind in your shoulder blades. They're riding up. They can literally move up and down your rib cage. And then push those shoulder blades. Put your mind in the shoulder blades. Push those shoulder blades back down toward your back pockets, okay? So lift the shoulder blades up toward your ear. Try to keep the actual shoulder joint relaxed. And then push your shoulder blades down. Yes. Let's do that one more time. Lift your shoulder blades up, 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 up. And then push your shoulder blades down. Now, some people's shoulder blades get stuck on their back body. This time we're going to move them around forward, and then we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades back together. So go ahead and put your hands facing forward. And what you're going to do is you're going to round your back a little, round it, and let those shoulder blades push around towards the outside edges of your body, opening them up wide away from your spine, okay? Open up wide. And we do this in cat and cow too, when we're on hands and knees. And now let's squeeze those shoulder blades back together. So keep your mind in your shoulder blades. I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades back towards your spine, like you've got a pencil along your spine and you're squeezing it with your shoulder blades. And then bring those shoulder blades around the sides of the rib cage, out to the sides of the rib cage. Push your hands forward. And then squeeze the shoulder blades back and around. Now, oftentimes people's shoulder blades get immobile. They get stuck on their back body. And then you get pain in your shoulder because you've got an impingement there, because the shoulder blade has to glide around with all our shoulder movements. So that's your anatomy lesson for today. Now we're going to get into this shoulder joint. We're going to do some arm circles, and it's very important how you hold your hands. I want you to put your hands right up in front of your face and turn them so they're facing in. And then I want you to take your fingertips, and just from the very tips of your fingertips, I want you to bend them in. We don't want to make a fist today. We just want to keep a nice open palm. See how my palm's open, my thumb's wide out, and my fingertips are bent in. Go ahead and extend your arms out long, reach them long. So here we're reaching one arm away from the other. You're getting those hands as far apart from each other as you can. Your palms are facing down. Your thumbs are facing forward. And that's what's important, because here's what we're going to do. We're going to circle the direction our thumbs are facing. So circle, circle as you're reaching wide, as you're reaching wide. And this grip is called a golfer's grip. And what it's doing is taking the tension out of our forearms and the work out of our forearms and placing it right up in that shoulder girdle where all our rotator cuff muscles are. So we're coordinating our rotator cuff muscles as we circle. So think of all those muscles that hold your shoulder joint in place, and then drop your arms down. Good job, good job. We're going to have to reverse that though. So go ahead, bring the palms up. Let them face each other. Fold the fingertips in. Throw the thumb out. This time our palms are facing up. So what direction are we going? We're following our thumbs. We're going to circle back. Circle back. Reach wide. Reach wide. Bring all that blood flow into the shoulder joint. Bring it in. It's like a little massage for your shoulders. Reach wide. You can do this while you're walking too. You got to have a lot of room on each side of you, but you can do it while you're walking. It's a great move to do. All right, and take it down. Okay, we've got one more move for the shoulder. And we're going to do it from hands and knees. So let's go ahead and get in hands and knees. And from here, what I want you to do is I want you to take your elbow, palm up, and place it right underneath you, right in the middle, okay? And then you're going to take, so my left hand is down, palm up. I'm going to take my right hand and place it on my wrist. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to face you so you can see this a little better. I'm going to rainbow over and over towards my left hand and just go as far as you can as you're pushing the back of this arm down into the floor. Now, when we come back up, I want you to really push the back of your arm that's on the floor into the floor, and you're pushing up from that shoulder joint. So let's rainbow over where you can go, bend over, bend over. Very important now, we're pushing not only with this hand's just for stabilization, but you're pushing the back of this arm that's on the floor into the floor real hard right now. Push it into the floor. And as you rise up, you keep pushing it into the floor. And that's expanding all the tissue around the shoulder. Let's do the other side. So I'm taking my right arm, I'm placing my elbow on the floor in the middle of my body. I'm going to take my left hand just for stabilization on top. I'm going to rainbow over, meaning I'm doing a slight arch with my shoulders over to one side. And I think I can get a little farther on this side. I'm going to need to work on that. But now, most important, you're going to push the back of your forearm that's on the floor into the ground right now to engage that tissue. And then keep pushing it into the ground as you rise up. And let's rainbow over. And then let's push the back of that forearm into the floor. Very important. And push up, 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 up. So you're using the back of that forearm to push you up and to open all that tissue. That should have felt really good. Let's go ahead and get back to hands and knees. And let's work on the back a little bit. Now, what we're going to do here is make sure your hands are right under your shoulders. Your knees are right under your hips. And we're just going to drop our chin towards our chest. And this time we're really rounding the back of the neck, not like when we were seated. We're going to let it really round. And as we do, we're pushing our navel up through to our spine and we're rounding our low back. So our low back and our neck are moving in the same direction. You always want your cervical spine and your lumbar spine to be rounding in the same direction. Otherwise, you're going to be placing stress on both ends. And now, let's just release the belly. Let it hang down as we lift our chin. And let the low back arch. And the chin or the neck arches as well. Let's do that one more time. So go ahead and drop your chin down. And as you're dropping your chin, you're pulling your belly into your spine. Pull it tight into your spine and round it up to the ceiling. Open up all those spaces between your beautiful spine. Open them up. Let's get the fluid flowing into those spaces. Push your hands into the floor. Push your knees into the floor. Push your back to the ceiling. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Keep breathing. And just let the belly drop. And lift the chin. So we're going to add on to this. So listen carefully. We're going to go back into our cat. We're going to drop our chin to our chest. We're going to get that nice rounded feeling up to the ceiling, and we're pulling our navel in. So we're using our abdominals to keep that spine tucked. And then from here, flatten your feet. And I want you to push your rounded back. Stay in that rounded back. Keep that belly nice and tight. Push back to your heels or wherever you can go. Keep it in the rounded position. And then drop your elbows to the floor. Release your belly. Release your neck. And we're going to come up through in a mini cobra. So you're going to tilt your chin up and slide up through your hands. Let's do that one more time. This is a great movement to get everything in the spine going. So go ahead and round up, round up, round up. Drop your chin to your chest. And as you're doing this, you'll feel your shoulder blades pulling apart like we did in the beginning. Feel those shoulder blades pull apart. Now, push back to your heels. Keep that rounded spine. Keep it nice and round so you're keeping the vertebrae open. Drop your elbows to the floor. Relax your belly. Tilt your chin up. Keep your chest as low to the floor as you can as you slide up through your hands. Good job, good job. Go ahead and sit back on your heels for a minute. Shake out your wrist if you have to. And we'll do one more thing on hands and knees. So this is going to open up the QL area, the quadratus lumborum area. I call them your hip hangers. They're these muscles right here at the top of your back of your hip. This is going to open those up. And if they're not working properly, your hips could be like misaligned. So we want to keep those muscles working so you are working properly. I'm going to turn this way so I have more room to kick back. All right. So what we're going to do is we've got our hand in knees position. Remember, you're a table. You're a tabletop. You're a strong, sturdy table. So your hands are right under your shoulders. Your knees are right under your hips. Your navel is pulled in and your back is nice and flat. What I want you to do is take your right arm and reach it out, and then take your left leg and reach it back. Now you can keep your leg on the floor right now if you want, or you can bring it up and just hold this position. Now we need to keep our belly in tight. That's where our strength is coming from in this position, from our core. Okay, now from here, go ahead and bring that hand back down. I want you to take that leg, whether it's lifted or on the floor, and I want you to place it across the other leg and drop it to the floor and curl your toes under. Now, I want you to take a peek around your right shoulder and find that left leg and get that nice stretch up through that left side body. From here, we're just going to gently rock back and forth on that heel. Rock back and forth, and we're opening up the left side quadratus lumborum, and we're contracting and working the right side of the quadratus lumborum because it's in a shortened position. So that's how this works. You've got to be able to make one short to let the other one get long. All right, bring it in. Now, let's go ahead and do that on the other side. So back to hands and knees. This time you're going to take your left arm out, your right leg out, whether it's on the floor or lifted. And I want you to hold this position and get strong in this position. Get real strong in this position. Now bring your hand down. Take your right leg, cross it behind your left leg. Curl those toes under. Take a peek around your left side body to find that right leg. And here we're going to rock into that heel. Rock into that heel, opening up the right side of the hip and activating the left side of the hip. Keep rocking. Keep rocking. This is one of my favorites. All right. Bring the knee back in. Good job. Good job. Let's go down to our backs. This is where you're going to want to get your little props. So I have a yoga block here. And I also have, I put this behind my head, but you can just use a little pillow. I like to have a little prop for my head so I'm not straining my neck in this next position. I'm going to teach you one of the foundations of keeping your lower abdominals working properly. If you've had any kind of abdominal surgery, a C-section or anything like that, you need to know this move. So go ahead and take this yoga block and place it between your knees. And we're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time. We got those vertebrae all warmed up and opened up. So pull that navel into your spine. We know what that feels like. And let's take this opportunity to keep our belly strong, keep the navel in tight, and take it down as slow as you can because we're going to take it all the way to the floor. And just take it down with control. Keep your control. And once you're there, lower your head back, You don't have to have anything for the back of your neck. I just like to have a little tilt right here. And I'm going to bring my feet flat to the floor. We're kind of in a bridge position. And why we're doing this is because the neck, as I stated before, needs to go the same direction as your low back. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be scooping our low back. We're going to be rounding it to the floor. And so we want our neck into a bend as well. And I don't want you straining to have to do this. So what our gaze should be is at the top of our knees. So we should be easily gazing at the top of our knees. And I'm going to show you a little neuro input for this move. This is what really kicks it in. So we're going to take our palm, we're going to take our left palm and we're going to place it on the floor. And I want you to lift the fingertips up off the floor so that palm can suction cup into the floor, and then just relax the fingertips. So we've got a nice touch right here on the floor. Now I want you to take your right hand and I want you to find your belly button. So we're going to take our fingertips and we're going to walk them down towards our pubic bone. So you will hit this little bony ridge right here, right below your belly button. And then you're going to walk those fingertips over towards the left side of that pubic bone. So we're in this left quadrant of the lower abdominals, and we're going to work this one specifically. So with our fingertips here, I want you to pull your navel into your spine and round your back to the floor. And you should feel a gentle tilt. It's real subtle move of that pubic bone coming up towards your fingertips, towards your nose. Your gaze is at the top of your knees, and I want you to hold this for a 6 count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just release it. So we're engaging this quadrant right here of the lower abdominals. One more time on this side. Make sure your hand is suction cupped to the floor. It can be, your arm can be, however your arm is placed comfortably to get that palm to the floor works. So place that palm on the floor, lift the fingertips, let them suction cup down and relax. Take your hand, find the left ridge of that pubic bone, and I want you to pull your navel into your spine, tucking that pubic bone up towards your fingertips, up towards your nose. Hold it for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you do this and get really good at it, you're going to hold it for 6 and you're going to release it for 6. That's very important. So let's switch it to the right hand. Places on the floor, palms on the floor, lift your fingers, suction cup the right hand to the floor. Take your left hand, bind your navel, walk it down to your pubic bone, walk it over to the right side now. And keep in mind, if you've had any abdominal surgery, you need to reequate these muscles. So we're working them with our central nervous system at this point, and we're teaching them how to work efficiently so our low back doesn't hurt. That is the key thing right here. So I want you to pull your navel into your spine. Pull it tight into your spine. Pull it tight. You're gazing at the top of your knees in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. And let's do that one more time. Pull the navel into the spine as you feel the pubic bone come towards your fingertips, towards your nose. Gentle gaze towards the top of your knees so your neck is in line with your low back. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Now, when you get really good at this, you can do it both sides together. You just suction cup both hands to the floor. We're going to do it with both hands on the floor. And your gaze is at the top of your knees. Pull your navel into your spine so it rounds your low back to the floor. See how hard you can tuck it under there for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. All right, so let's take our headrest away. We're going to work our glutes for a minute, and we're going to be really mindful of how these glutes are working. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to squeeze your cheeks together back there. Squeeze them together before we even lift. You still got the block between your knees. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lift the hips up off the floor while you're squeezing. Try to keep these hip bones going real steady, straight up to the ceiling. Keep squeezing, keep squeezing. The harder you squeeze back here, the higher your lift will be. But I don't want you arching up. I want it happening with this squeeze. And so keep the squeeze as we lower it nice and steady, nice and level, down to the floor. And release. Let's do that again. Just release for a minute. Now we're going to go into that squeeze again. So you start your squeeze at the bottom. You let those glutes know we mean business. Lift, lift. The glutes are lifting you up. They're extending your hips. Lift, lift, lift. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep squeezing as you lower, nice and steady. Nice and steady. All right, bring it down. We've got one more move. I told you we're going from head to toe. We've got to get the ankles in here. So here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to actually loosen up that low back a little before we get to the ankle. So I want you to take your left knee and I want you to see how close you can get it to your chest without pulling it in. And then take your hand and block that knee. And you're going to push your knee into your hand and your hand into your knee. Now, I don't want you holding your breath. I don't want you really straining to push this, but go ahead and push it, push it, push it, and bring it down. And then straighten the leg out long. And let's see if we can get it a little closer to our chest this time. Go ahead and bring it up. See if we got any looser. Now push your knee into your chest and your chest into your knee. Good, good, good. Push, push, push. And then take it down and extend it long. Nice. You can put it back. Let's do that on the right side. So bring that knee towards your chest. This could be different from the left side. When it stops, I want you to block it with your hand. And then I want you to push your knee into your hand and your hand into your knee while you're breathing. Keep breathing. And then take it down and extend the leg out long. And let's do that one more time. Bring the knee up towards the chest. Push the knee into the chest. This is increasing our ability to flex forward. And it's letting the low back know we can do this because we've got strong hip flexors, not lazy ones from sitting all day in a bent position. And take it down. All right, so let's work the ankles. What I want you to do is go ahead and bring that knee back up. And you're going to just take your hands on either side of your knee. We're not going to stop the knee from moving. I want you to get this movement from your knee down. So what you're going to do is you're just going to circle your ankle. Circle your ankle. Forget about your toes. Think about your ankle joint making this movement. Your toes get to go along for the ride right now. And then circle the other way. Circle the other way. To get a nice big circle, but we're keeping our knee, the top part of our leg still. We're letting the bones from the bottom of the knee down move. Let's do the other side. So we're just going to grab the top of the knee on each side, little guardrails, and I want you to circle your foot, circle your ankle. Think of the ankle, not the foot. Think of the ankle. We're opening up that ankle joint. The toes get to go along for the ride and circle the other way. You might get some cracks and pops. And go ahead and take that down, roll over to your side, push yourself up into a seated position. And you have got your body working efficiently from head to toe. Keep your mind in your muscle. Don't hurt yourself. Thanks, everybody.